G'day, my name's Al Goliath, and welcome to Sydney's Operatic Operation, an adventure lab in 8 parts. Come with me as we take a tour of some of the highlights the city has to offer and discover a brief history of the landmarks that we visit together. Let's start with some geography. Welcome to Sydney Harbour, or more correctly, Port Jackson. Port Jackson is a drowned river valley that covers an area of 55 square kilometres and contains around 562 million cubic metres of water. It comprises of North, Middle and Sydney harbours, and if you were to walk around the edge from South Head to North Head, you'd be covering over 317 kilometres. The land surrounding the harbour foreshore are the traditional homes of the Eora Nation. The local Aboriginal clans of the Gadigal, Camaragal and Wangal people inhabited this region for over 40,000 years before European settlers arrived. In 1770, as he was sailing north from his landing at Botany Bay, British explorer Captain James Cook named the inlet after Sir George Jackson, one of the Lord Commissioners of the British Admiralty at the time. 18 years later, following the arrival of the First Fleet in Botany Bay, soon-to-be Governor Arthur Phillip scouted the harbour before returning to Sydney Cove to plant the British flag and found the first European colony on the continent, naming it New South Wales. It was the 26th of January, 1788, and the nation would never be the same. Sadly, this spelt disaster for the local inhabitants. Following a smallpox epidemic in 1789, it is estimated over half of the 2,000 to 4,000 strong Eora Nation had perished due to the introduction of such diseases. From this viewpoint, we're going to turn from the east to the west and take in some of the changes that have constantly graced the harbour's shores ever since that time. Begin by facing the warships of Garden Island. In the middle of the harbour, you'll spot the former prison and fortress of Fort Denison. Gazing right down as far as you can see are the heads, which lead out to the Pacific Ocean. Peering across the harbour, you might be able to just spot Taronga Zoo or perhaps Admiralty House, home of the Australian Governor-General. Continue turning west and you can of course take in the iconic Harbour Bridge, and as we look behind us, marvel at the Sydney Opera House, the focus of our adventure today. Speaking of which, let's head around to the forecourt to get a better look at this amazing piece of architecture. Before you go, however, you need to note down the code word which is on your screen right now. It's the first half of the answer you'll need to progress to stage 2. The other half can be found by answering the location-based question, which is revealed by clicking the question mark button on the app. This pattern is going to repeat itself for each stage, so get used to it. In this particular instance, there's a bronze plaque about another famous explorer in Australian history, Matthew Flinders. It's not too far from here, right on the water's edge. Go find it and it'll give you the answer you need to take you to stage 2.